So hello, welcome back to the channel, and before we kick right into the GT3 project, I want to introduce you to my Revolut card. Now I normally wouldn't jump in with things like this, but it's genuinely been saving me money, and Revolut asked me, if you've been enjoying it, do you want to share it with your audience? Because it's been great for me, I know it'll be great for you. So what is it? You can think of it as a free financial super app. Over 16 million people use it. I'm one of them. You get an app on your phone and a card in your wallet. And speaking of the card, it is 18 grams metal. This one's in the gold finish, and you can personalize it. You can put symbols and emojis and your own name on there, and each one is basically unique to you. So while I've been abroad, this thing's been amazing. Effectively been able to live like a local without the worry that I'm gonna get stung on a crazy exchange rate. And then the save as you spend. Now, Revolut have some awesome partners. You can save up to 30% off on some incredible brands. They've teamed up with the likes of Nike, Apple, and ASOS. And if you're anything like me and you're a bit of a foodie, the extensive restaurant selections that these guys have partnered with for savings is also incredible. And speaking of restaurants, we've all been there. Out with a big group of friends at a large table, and the bill comes and you all go, how are we gonna split this? Revolut sorts that out for you and makes it really easy to split bills with friends. And then really the reason I'm here is a £20 incentive for you to get you kickstarted with your Revolut cards. All you gotta do is sign up using my link in the description below. Once you've got your card, you just need to complete 3 transactions and you qualify for 20 quid landing in your Revolut account. Give it a whirl, let me know how you get on. Onto the GT3. And today, the fun starts all over again. We're going full project car. In fact, we've got 3 project cars in the pipeline right now. The McLaren 720S, the Aston Martin DBS, and our now 42,000 mile Porsche 991 Gen 2 GT3. And we've started with 2 substantial upgrades. Now shortly, the whole color and theme and interior, everything will change on this car. But we want to run through the first 2 mods, starting with the most obvious, which is the Ducktail. Now regular subscribers of the channel may remember when we were up in Scotland and I got this car next to a GT3 Touring. I was like, do you know what? I like the Touring, but I love the wing on this car, or the one which was on this car. Might there be a halfway house? Might there be this sort of vintage tip of the hat to the iconic Ducktail? Lo and behold, when Porsche launched the 991 Gen 1 Carrera, they also optioned a aero kit called Aero Kit 1, which included this Ducktail and this rear canopy here. So this Ducktail and this canopy is actually official Porsche parts, which I love. I love the fact that we haven't had to go aftermarket on the bodywork just yet. And I just love how it's turned out. Now it's got to be painted. We're gonna hold off sharing with you what the final color of the car will be, but that is going in for a full tear down and color change soon. So, because it's Porsche parts, fits seamlessly. Now the guys over at JZM did the sourcing and fitment. Thanks very much, guys. The fan architecture in here had to be replaced with a 991.1 fan intake system because the .2 didn't fit this canopy here. So there are some more changes than just aesthetic. As a result, our 4-litre plaque, which would otherwise sit on top of there for the GT3 engine, which is actually in this car, has gone, but it was a necessary upgrade in order to accommodate induction from a Gen 1 fan system. So that is, as you can see here, official Porsche parts. This lid here, the brackets, the hinges, and this is an official Ducktail from the Porsche parts bin of the Carrera 991 Gen 1 variety. Now the idea is, when this project started, to make it a sort of touring. Now we're not going that full route. As I mentioned, I do like the suggest of a flick on a GT3, and this for me, to my eyes, is the perfect halfway house balance. And when it's painted right now, I'm sure on camera it just looks like this sort of stuck on thing. The original car that this came off was black, hence it being black, and we're gonna eventually obviously match into the whole new paint scheme, which is cool in itself. However, today, the biggest fitment of all, which you can't see, is this right here. So we have installed a full titanium system from JCR. Now, what's really cool about this system is the sound. Obviously, we'll share that with you shortly when we go for a proper drive. But also the weight saving. Now, Johnny from JCR sent me the weight saving. So the factory exhaust that they pulled off is 40.2 kilograms. 40.2 kgs. The replacement full titanium system, 18.62 kgs. Now that's cool in itself. However, that was just stage one. Johnny has an Inconel manifold system lined up for this car. And when we put that on, that's going to be, I think, another 5 kg weight saving either side, which is huge. And then on top of that, the power gains right now are between 15 and 20 horsepower power gains. When we go the full system with the Inconel components, it's going to be almost 30 horsepower power gains plus weight saving. Now, how this exhaust system came about, Johnny very kindly passed by the bunker and said, here's my 911 Speedster, which I have developed a very specific exhaust system for. Take it out, see what you think, and we can sort of pick and choose from their JCR modular exhaust system what kind of tone and profile we would like. Now, lo and behold, I liked exactly the exhaust that was on Johnny's Speedster. Now, what's unique about Speedster is that it effectively has a 992 GT3 engine in it, and therefore JCR didn't actually have an exhaust system or profile that would match that tone for this car. So he said, you know what, I'm going to build you something quite trick, which is effectively now on this car a 992 JCR system adapted to fit a 991 GT3 engine. Now, JCR do plenty of existing 991 pipes. It was just a particular characteristic that I liked. However, what's really cool about this is if you currently own a 991 GT3, this exhaust system will also fit a 992 GT3. So say in future you wanted to upgrade your car, you might own one of these now and think, in the future it will be great, maybe one day I'll get into a 992. That investment into this very trick titanium exhaust system will then come straight off this car and easily adapt to a 992, which means your investment in the pipe is still in the pipe. Rarely does that happen. Normally they're so car specific and what goes on this car stays on this car. To be able to port it over to a 992, JCR have nailed it. Here we are, first run on, I guess what's quite important for me, on the motorway. You see, I'm going to be doing some motorway miles. And the important bit actually is, my God, that sounds unbelievable. It's like driving a cup car on the road. The important bit is kind of like when I'm, say, doing motorway speeds like this. Actually, it's not bad. I was genuinely concerned that it was going to be screaming down my neck the whole time. This car's done 42,000 miles, and the plan is to take it to 100,000 miles. And in order to achieve something like that, you basically daily a GT3, and I do quite a lot of mundane normal miles like this. And when you do that, what you don't want is a complete drone bass tone all the time. So when you're at sensible speeds like this, and I'm discovering this as this unfolds, it's fine. And then when you want to, you can do this. Honestly, do not underestimate the importance of sound. It's transformative. Now then, another immediate observation. And again, this one doesn't take you too long to adapt to, but in a GT3, when you look in the rear view mirror, the standard stock wing blocks right through the middle of the view. I mean, it's almost redundant. You can kind of see the suggestion of a car. You normally just see the tires, but it blocks the primary vision of what the rear view mirror is for. However, the wing is no more. What I can see now is the lovely crest of a subtle ducktail and this glorious panoramic view, dare I say, behind me. It's like a entirely more practical car, said the man with the straight-through exhaust system. Okay, let's see if the microphone picks up on this lift-off sound. So it's very subtle, but when I lift off, can hear the rundown of the engine on the overrun. There's actually sound. With a stock exhaust system, you lift off and it just stops making a noise. But in this, you lift off, it actually gets louder. See? And now 9,000 RPM feels like 9,000 RPM. It turns you into a little boy all over again. It kind of reminds you, I know this is such a simple thing, but it's one of the reasons you love cars, you know? That stimulation. This is going to be a full overhaul of a project car. We've got an entirely new interior going in this, a completely bespoke paint. We've got the Ducktail on. That in itself changes the whole feel of it, and I think it would only be right to save the full 9K for the final unveil of the car once it's complete. So, I mean, just listen to how this spins up a little bit. I just cannot give it the full send, so you'll have to wait. As always, thank you so much for watching. We shall see you next time. Ciao.